Yeah, it's usually very.
Right.
Yeah. Further back. They had the LASIK surgery. 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That's great. But I had to read.
There's a lifespan on that surgery. Duff had it. You know Duffy?
Yeah.
He had it, and he's back with glasses.
I had it almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
My last check was 2020.
I bet his was 15 years ago or so.
Where do you have it?
I'm sorry?
Where do you have it?
I don't know.
It's in Hinsdale, folks.
Yeah. I imagine the technology and how they do it has changed quite a bit.
Software. They put me in before. What's that?
I'm just assuming based on. I didn't talk, I'm just assuming. What's the update from,
Bob?
what's the update?
He was in the hospital again Friday, but Meg's not letting people know anymore. She's,
Too much.
yeah. But I was at my mom's yesterday, and he said he was plugging on. He's back. He's to once a week now. He's doing chemo since Mayo. He looked good. So I actually saw him right before. No, that was after. I saw him right after Mayo. And I thought he looked good. He was around for Christmas. How's Mikey?
It's any day. Janice and Mike had a kind of house in Florida. 6 weeks. It was canceled. Just leaving her there. Of course, people were getting their money back. Or refund. They were giving them consideration. Because they hate to say it, hands and foot. It's just it's a terrible thing. I can't understand. I was in the board for the bears game yesterday.
Good, sir.
All right, how are you?
Mr. Clerk, how are you?
Fantastic.
Did you notice how like in the summer and spring and early fall, Nancy has little cute, she has little cute scarves that just are kind of like a fashion. But it starts getting the colder weather, like she's like the Nook of the North. Oh yeah.
See, but you know what? If she was
Gore-Tex.
if she was closer to me, she'd be warm because I just radiate heat.
I dated a girl in law school that called me her whoopee. She liked this, and she's like, God, you throw off body heat.
See, that's where I'm at, but it's more a stage of life than anything
Is that what it
else. Yeah. Oh, I think so. Because damn. Nancy, are you cold? I was gonna say, come on, I'll give you a hug.
I was just saying, you notice how in the spring, summer, early fall, Nancy's got like cute little scarves that are just a fashion accessory. Gets in the wintertime, she's like, man, Nook of the North. Yeah. You got short sleeves on though. Yeah. Got to show off
I
the
just
guns.
wanted to make sure if you were frozen, I could take care of
Hey,
it.
Joe.
You know that? I definitely can. Oop.
Mike, that thing?
Whatever.
Hello, sir. Good, how are you?
Do you have them in a bag or just a random spot again?
Yeah. We'll put
No, I got them in my.
all three of them come in so quick. This will be
Those
Yeah,
are
me
just
too.
Pins.
Me too. I got
Just look, just
I got
pins.
some fun planned for tonight.
Just
Oh,
pins.
can I have one?
Sure.
I don't have one.
You're taking them from the Girl
Thank you.
Scouts. Go ahead.
Oh no, they're for
I
the
told,
Girl
uh,
Scouts.
I don't know how many people.
Gary, it's my transitioning out of public
Are
life
they coming
here.
tonight?
No. I'm
Tim wouldn't
coming
let me
on
have one.
Friday.
Oh, I knew about
Tim wouldn't
that.
let me have one. He wouldn't even let me have a goatee, even though but So, I'm revolting.
Okay.
Last night I.
Hey Tim, how are you?
You got what?
No, it's.
We need to
I
get
forgot
together
my-
with
Well,
these.
I didn't stop at home today, so.
Oh, you borrowing one.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I was. We just got back. Yeah. Well, it's true. Right. Went from 80 to
Carrie's sitting
40
way
or
in the back.
50. Not bad.
Susie wanna-
No
Hey,
complaints.
Joe, is there a reason why Carrie's way in the back there?
Is she exiled?
She's playing solitaire, that's why I bet you. What's that?
You know, we need like a mirror so we can see what's on people's computer.
Candy Crush?
I think she's at a shooting range, is what she is.
All right.
Oh, she's not the one that's. She's not the one that's been charged.
I could see the Candy Crush going across those glasses on top of her head.
We could go.
Ready?
Are we waiting for something?
No.
Yes.
Trustee Guerra?
Here.
Trustee Calandrello?
Here, just.
Trustee Carroll?
Here.
Finance Committee, approval of minutes?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Calandrillo.
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Finance Committee of December 3rd, 2018.
Second.
Any questions, corrections, or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any questions or comments from the vast members of the audience? That all are staff or media, so, okay, that's it.
Public safety, what's it? You good? We're still talking. Public safety approval of minutes?
Madam Chair?
And Trustee Carroll.
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Public Safety Committee of December 3rd, 2018.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Amending Title IX, Chapter 15, Section 9-15-13 of the Orland Park Village Code, debt to municipality.
Chief.
Madam Chairman, this is an amendment to Title IX, Chapter 15, that allows us to go into collections for those people not paying the fines and fees when their car is impounded. And further, if collections fails, it will address when we take the state of Illinois, then take the city's tax the following year. So we need a specific ordinance for the collection impounds, which we need.
Any questions from anyone in the audience, from the committee?
Madam Chair?
Trustee
I'll
Carroll?
just say that some of my village clients that I do hearings for have had great results with this. Take them to court and even the state of Illinois system. A lot more recovery of dollars outstanding than there were before.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Chair will entertain a motion.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Calendro.
I move to recommend to the village board to pass an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Title 9, Chapter 15, Section 9-15-13 of the Orland Park Village Code, debt to the municipality.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I thought for sure he'd shoot out of his chair after that was done. Oh, okay.
Oh, he's sticking around.
Parks and Rec, approval of minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Guerra.
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Parks and Recreation Committee of December 3rd, 2018.
Second.
All in questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Distribution of 3 Recreation Department program guides through the Orland Park Post Office.
Yep, it's that time again where we're coming to you for approval to bring our recreation program guide through distribution with the Orland Park Post Office. We've been doing it for the past several years. The distribution through the post office continues to reach 26,000 active residents. So the distribution cost for each program guide, again, varies depending on the size of the book and the number of pages for each publication. Staff is requesting approval to distribute the 3 2019 rec program guides through the United States Post Office for the budgeted amount of $21,000.
And any questions from the committee, from the audience? I definitely hear from parents that they enjoy the book, even though everyone's on their phones nowadays. People keep the book and then they replace it with a new book and a new book. So as much as I love technology and not printing things, I fully support this, and I think it's good for our young families. With that, looking for a motion?
I do have a question. Since we're talking about print media versus online, is there any program for appreciation of Tony Bennett music within that program?
Appreciation.
Tony Bennett music? No? Okay, Mr. Chair.
Trustee
I
Kira.
move to recommend that the village board to approve the distribution of 3 2019 recreation program guides through the United States Post Office for the budgeted amount of $21,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Recreation Department program guide 2019 summer program list approval.
Talking about summer, finally, in this weather. So before you, you have the list of recommended programs that are suggested to be offered through the Rec Department 2019 Summer Program Guide. They're attached for your review. Including in these lists are the contractual costs. Over $20,000 that would need board approval associated with the summer sessions. These costs are covered by the revenue generated through registration fees. Actual costs, again, are dependent upon the amount of participants that are registered. As you may recall, during the budget process, Recreation provided a plethora of comparisons, whether it was fees for programs or memberships, just so that you can see how we're constantly analyzing our program fee structure. And Trustee Calandrello has suggested, and we'll be bringing this forward in February, a dashboard of our turkey trot and our pumpkin party. So that way we could bring forward just the bigger picture on the revenues, expenses, sponsorships. So that way you could kind of have a preview of how everything went for those events. For the program guide as well, just so you have a heads up on here, for these programs in the summer, we've discontinued 7 programs. We're keeping 11 that we're going to try one more time, and we're providing 14 new programs.
Any questions from the committee?
Comments?
Go ahead.
I just want to comment or commend Nancy. She's constantly reviewing the program, seeing what's successful, what's not. It works. It's terrific, and introducing new things too. So well done.
Any further questions from the committee? From the audience, I just concur with Trustee Guerra. I know that Nancy and her staff put a lot of effort into what's good, what's working, that's what we can try, and also keeping pace with the other municipalities. So I know that sometimes you have to take a chance here and there, and then sometimes you have to pull it back. So I appreciate their time and effort on that, and making sure that our young families have programs to take care of their family needs. And, you know, this is the fun stuff, the quality of life stuff that we have to keep investing in. So thank you. With that, looking for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Guerra.
I move to recommend to the village board to approve the recommended programs and payment to the contractual instructors at time of invoicing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Centennial Park Aquatic Center vertical turbine pump replacement phase 2.
Mr. Chair, in keeping with the summer theme, as Director Flores mentioned, staff's requesting to waive the bid process for the purchase and installation of vertical turbines at the Aquatic Center. We submitted we put a bid out in 2018 for the pumps in the old mechanical room. We spec'd the bid so that each pump was priced individually. We did not have enough funds to do all of the pumps in 2018. The company that did perform the work in 2018 is willing to honor their bid prices from 2018, which is a good savings for us. This would also benefit the village as well because the Illinois Department of Public Health has reduced their engineering department by 50%. Any permits we needed for the pool, the last one we got for the VGBA work took 4 months to get. I have an open permit for these pump replacements that started last year that expires in May, so this will allow us not to have to go through the permitting process again for this work. They did a good job on the pumps they installed last year. This is for the flume 1, 2, and the playset in the old mechanical room. Flumes are the slides. We did the filtration pumps last year in the old mechanical room.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee?
Excited to see it done.
I'll come back if you need. From the audience? I just want to comment, so this is saving money and time doing the bid process, so I appreciate us trying to get this family events and family center going. Go ahead, Joe, you got a question? Or
Mr. Chairman, I think it should be noted too, the amount of money that we've invested or is invested in improving our facilities, schools, parks, playgrounds over the last couple of years. That might have been the last several years, but the last couple of years, including the feasibility study. Here's some misinformation.
Mr. Chair,
Trustee Carroll.
just to clarify on this, in the packet notes, they identify it as Crossroad Construction.
Correct.
Was it under a different name?
There was two companies that were partnered in the original bid. This
Okay.
is the actual company that did the work
Okay.
in the Aquatic Center.
Gotcha.
I believe they had the exact same billing address as well.
All right.
With that, looking for any further questions, comments?
A question.
Go ahead.
What was the budget last year for the pool? Do you recall?
Overall?
offhand? In general terms,
My end of it with capital and maintenance improvements, we were probably right around $1 million, maybe a little more than $1 million.
that's what I thought. It was huge.
It would be
making
larger
some-
too if you incorporated the recreation side of the
Right,
budget as well.
but what I'm looking at is the capital improvements at the
there
pool.
was
It
quite a bit of work
20
that was
years
done
old.
last year.
It needed to
The
have
slides
it
look
done.
phenomenal.
Right, exactly. A lot of money reinvested there. And I think our patrons appreciate it.
Any further comments, questions? With that, looking for a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Trustee
I
Carroll.
move to recommend to the village board to approve the purchase and installation of the Centennial Park Aquatic Center vertical turbine pump replacements Phase 2 in an amount not to exceed $105,300 to Crossroad Construction of Lombard, Illinois.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Turf fertilization and broadleaf weed control, RFP number 18044.
Sure.
Village issued an RFP for the fertilization and broadleaf weed control for all the village properties, grounds, parks, right-of-ways, ponds, the entire gamut. The first time it was issued, we only had 2 responses. So we reissued, we had 6 companies submit. Staff brought in 3 companies, 1 middle of the road and 2 on the lower end of the spectrum. Interviews were conducted. Staff believed that the second lowest priced company would provide the best service, and that's the recommendation that we're moving forward with. We have changed the product specs somewhat. I did bring the operations manager that has a lot more fertilization knowledge. If you guys have any specific questions on the product, he'd be more than happy to extrapolate on that for you.
Extrapolate.
Like that word? I looked at it.
Extrapolate away, Bob.
I think I can guess a question for Trustee Guerra, but any questions from the board? Trustee Guerra?
Roundup. Do we use Roundup at all in any of our fields or lawnscape anywhere? Why?
Gary?
Careful, careful. Oh, sorry.
I would suggest we look at the legal standing of Roundup and eliminate it from use in our grounds and fields, most especially for our employees.
Yeah, it's something that I've monitored very close for the last couple of years, since the lawsuit became prevalent. A lot of the lawsuit is coming from homeowners who are not licensed to use products at all. All of our staff is licensed to use products. Something that the EPA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Illinois State Department of Agriculture monitor very closely and test us on when we get licenses is re-entry periods. That is the time that from application to the time that you are allowed to go back into that area. And it's something that I don't think homeowners are aware of. They're also
Test case was not a homeowner. The gentleman that got the first verdict, there's a lineup of like 200,000 cases behind it, but that one was a professional landscaper.
and there's nothing to say that he was using proper PPE. There's nothing else out there at the moment, but we will definitely
It
investigate
should
it.
not be used where people will be for at least 24 hours. It should not be, and certainly, I would suggest that we don't use it on our playgrounds.
We're not, are we?
That's
It's
never
definitely-
used.
Playgrounds, ball fields,
We use an organic product called.
then where do
Vidal
we use it?
Ponds.
We use it at the ponds.
That's where the broadleaf
And there's
weed
no
control is at.
fishing done there where people would catch and keep.
Not legally. I don't think, is there?
I think it's a mistake. Well, that's how, I know Centennial is posted that way, and I think 179th and 108th. I think we're playing with danger here.
We absolutely see if there are other products that
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather see a weed or two here and there than see Roundup.
We'll have those conversations with our vendor.
The only thing I would suggest also is, I understand the nature of the product and its usefulness. I also understand the litigation that's involved. Maybe we just have counsel, our legal counsel, look at if there is any liability for someone that doesn't follow the rule of catch and release at our ponds, because I think it is posted, and maybe have them look at whether our posting that we currently utilize in our pond areas is sufficient. Maybe legal counsel will tell us, now you need better science saying we do use chemical treatment on these ponds that could cause problems with fish, and it's catch and release only for any fishing conducted herein or something like that. Just to kind of cover us, because I don't know that there's a product, and Bo, you would know better than I, but I don't know if there's a product that's equally efficient that we can look at for those areas, but at the very least, I think we do want to look at whether we're
Right.
meeting our obligations under the posting notice.
Yeah, we can make sure that we're covered, but I think to Trustee Guerra's point too, just make sure for the general health and well-being.
Yeah, there's a legal aspect, but then there's moral and ethical, and for my money,
Yeah.
I'll go with moral and ethical.
Just for the clarity though, with the playgrounds and so forth, none of that is ever used on a playground.
Good.
It's all organic-based, vinegar-based products that we use.
So then maybe we could just expand on that use.
Any other comments from the board or questions?
My only concern is, we all get calls about the condition of our ponds, and if we allow that organic chemical to be used near the ponds, we're not gonna have weed control like we do now, and we're already getting complaints when a resident sees a weed near one of their ponds. So I'm sympathetic to what you're dealing with. I just wanna make sure that we take a look at it, make sure we're doing the best we can.
Yeah. We'll do some more research on that and see what we can do. At the very least, maybe we could post signage out there if we decide, so at
Yeah.
least they're aware of the type of chemicals that we're putting out
Yeah,
there.
Roundup is used in this area.
Right,
Proceed at your own.
yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
Any questions from the audience? Trustee Guerra.
Move to recommend to the village board to approve the proposal for turf fertilization and broadleaf weed control from Eternally Green Lawn Care for the years 2019, 2020, 2021 in the amount not to exceed $189,162.50 per year, with the possibility of extending the contract for 2 additional years in 2022 and 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's it. Looking for motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Short and sweet.
Ew.
Hey, I knew it was coming, and I said, here you go.
You have children, you don't pay attention?
I pull with my hands. Like you have. And I took the beard off.